Hello, people. What the hell is going on? It is Saturday, September the 13th, or whatever the hell, something like that. Anyway, anywho, what I wanted to talk about today is I saw a video that just happened to pop up on my timeline on YouTube about it was some guy. I can't even remember his name. I wish I had saved that video. I wish I had saved the video, but I didn't. He was talking about Chris Sain and how people were kind of accusing Chris Sain of being a scammer and all kind of stuff like that. And then there was some other stuff with him and his followers and people, you know, how people are on YouTube or whatnot, in his comments about him trying to be like Chris and trying to use his YouTube to make money and all of that. It's dumb shit. Just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as the stuff with the, just don't pay no attention to them folks, because people just say shit. I'm one of them people that leave stupid comments inside people's YouTube. I got a reply today from something I left in somebody's YouTube. So it was a reply from that YouTube video had to be a couple of years old. And I'm like, you replying to that? Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah. When he was talking about Chris and how Chris had inspired him to document his journey with making money in stocks and the stock market and all that other kind of stuff. And how some people were calling Chris a scammer and all the kind of stuff like that. And I don't buy it. I follow Chris. I've been following Chris since 2020. You know what I'm saying? As far as I can remember, I've been following him since 2020. And ain't nothing this man put out says scammer. And I've seen a lot. Once you get into that algorithm, once you get into that part of YouTube talking about stocks and other stuff, you get to run across other people, and then you got those I don't know what you got those whistleblower pages out there that actually point out all these so-called stock gurus and stuff, like point them out for having these fucked up ass pages where they actually take advantage of people, where they be having those stock classes and all kind of stuff like that, and those what they call them, little I don't have the vernacular for all that shit, where you get them in there, you trading with them, you thinking you trading to make money, but you making money for them, and the more money you lose, the more money they making, you don't get shit. And you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. There's a lot of that stuff going on. Well, that's far from this side over here with Chris. And Chris is genuine, as far as I can tell. He's genuine. I ain't never seen him do anything to make me doubt, you know, anything that he does, says, and stuff like that. Especially early on. Now I don't have to watch Chris as much, because at this point it's 2025 now. I've been following Chris for about 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And the way to put, and that means damn near every day or every weekday for 5 years I've been watching his damn videos. And that's and even lately he has more of an online presence, to where he's building whatever he's building and moving around and got his own little promotions going, so you get to see him a little bit more and more on all the different platforms. And you got to be doing something right, because, you know, if you ain't doing nothing right, you ain't got to worry about impersonators and shit like that out there. Ain't nobody trying to impersonate nobody who, you know, who ain't out there doing shit. Ain't nobody out there impersonating me. I can tell you that for damn sure. Yeah. But yeah, I follow Chris, and everything that I've seen him do has been genuine. It's been in I haven't seen him ask for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him ask for nothing. Now that doesn't include promoting what he does on his page. As far as the money team and the Patreon, that shit, because I'm on the Patreon, so he get his little $5 a month from me. But I also get something from that. You know what I'm saying? I also get something from that. But yeah, his money team thing, I'm just like, I don't need that. I've been, that's something I probably would have benefited from right up front, like right early on from the start. But 5 years in, I don't need to be part of the money team. I don't. It's to the point now where I go do my chart work, which is barely just me looking through my phone like this, zooming in on the screen and stuff like that. And you pick out the peaks and the valleys of the stock the day before and in pre-market or whatnot. And then I wait for him to put his morning announcements out. And then I see, did he see the same thing I saw? Is this resistance level the same as the one I picked out? Is this, is our range the same for trading for that day? You know what I'm saying? Is it the same with me and my incomplete chart NAS? And a lot of times it is. So I've learned what I need to learn. You know what I'm saying? I go to that shit to verify, because sometimes I don't want to do like he do the SPY and the Tesla inside those are 2 free plays right there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff you have to use your common sense on when it comes to, when you say trade in the range. If you don't know what the fuck that means you don't need to be fucking with that. If you got to get verification on what trading inside that range mean, and like I say, he'll tell you time in the seat is what needs you. You will learn what you need to learn from Chris. You know what I'm saying? If you stick with him long enough, and if you go back and look at some of his older videos where he's actually teaching certain things. Now the chart work he does, that shit can be kind of hard for me to follow because my vision ain't all that good, and he uses that white screen for his charts, and that I can't see that. He be marking and shit right here, showing the support and the resistance and trend lines and all this other stuff, but I can't see well on light backgrounds. So I have to do that myself. I can hear, so I know what to look for. I look for the numbers, I hear him say blah, 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 blah. And then I go on my phone, zoom in on the goddamn screen and the chart and all the other stuff. I find the numbers that he said and everything checks out. So the information that he puts out there checks out if you know what the hell you doing. You know what I'm saying? The best shit, if you don't trust him, follow other people that do the same thing. And there's other people out there that do the same thing. Now, the only thing I don't really care for with Chris is, he got that motivational speech thing he likes to do. Like I say, I've been following that dude for 5 years now. A lot of times I can watch only 2 or 3 minutes of the video, and then everything else is something I've heard 30 times already before. You know what I'm saying? I've been following the dude. I've been watching videos every day for 5 years. So yeah, I'm going with once I know once he says a certain phrase, I know where he's going with that, and I know I don't need to be around for the rest of this video, so I can click off and go do something else. But compare what he does with somebody else, and there's other people out there that do what he do. He has he has a big head. He says he's humble or whatnot, but if you listen to him talk, he jerks himself off quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? And I have to ignore that because he'll say, it ain't nobody else doing this but me. I'm the best at this and I'm the dude at that. That's just him. If you my color, and we all, what I'm saying, that's how we do. You know what I'm saying? But I've been across the interwebs, especially on YouTube. There's other people out there that do what Chris does just as well. There's other millionaires out there on YouTube, bloop, 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 bloop. And there's other people out there that make I don't know how much money Chris makes. Just he showed his pay stub for YouTube one time, and I was like, well, shit. But yeah, but it's other people out there with big ass numbers that don't post as much as he do, but they will post their winnings and stuff like that. So it's other people out there that, he's not the only one. Even though he probably tell you that he's the only one, he been doing this a long time, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. That's how we talk. He's an athlete. We boast. We brag. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But my advice, if you have any doubt with Chris, is to go elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? When I started watching Chris, I was watching Jeremy LaFay. You know what I'm saying? And there was a couple of other guys that I hadn't seen much of since then. Matter of fact, it was quite a few. It's been quite a few folks that I've watched that, that I've followed for a while before I bloop. Because after a certain amount of time, there's certain people, you can't follow everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, okay, well, I'm kind of done. Like all the penny stock guys, I don't fuck with penny stocks anymore. I done lost enough money on that shit. You know what I'm saying? If they make their money off of that shit, blah, blah, good for you. Penny stocks is not my goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you got folks that I will follow that if you follow certain people, you would, like you got these group of people like Kenan Grace, Larry, is it Brown? Jones. Larry Brown is a basketball coach. Larry Brown, and he's a white guy. Larry Jones, Stockmo, Dr. Stock, and it's another older white guy with them that I was meaning to follow him a long time ago, and I just never did. And it's those group of people. I think they got a whole little online university unto themselves that they will promote to you if you hop on their page. But I still got Dr. Stock still pops up. Not so much Keenan, because all of them do a little bit different stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to find. You got to find people. You got to find folks like Chris that are, you got the plays with Chris. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I get out of him, the plays. And then you got the people that you follow for news and stuff like that. And then there's other people out there that teach chart work and stuff like that a little bit better than Chris does. Just what it is. But you want plays? You go to Chris. He'll give you the plays and a little bit of whatever else you need to know. Not so much news, but you get a little bit of everything else you need. So that's why I still roll with Chris, and he ain't funneling you into some online, some stock university or whatever that the other guys got going on. I'm not joining that. I gotta join your fucking Patreon and pay for that. Then I gotta pay for your little school that you're trying to get me in and all that. Nah. He's not peddling anything, you know what I'm saying, other than a sponsorship every so often. They they sponsor a video or something on his page. That's it. But that's my thing. If you want to know anything else, spread yourself out and follow other people that does shit different. You know what I'm saying? That does shit different. So you get a broader, you don't need to just know what Chris does. You need to know what other people are doing. You get to learn more about that. Like right with Chris, I know he teach you about all this wealth building, blah, blah, blah. My money ain't made like that. I don't have 6 figures in the bank. I got right now I got 3 brokerage accounts. One with much of nothing in it. Then I got 2 with a little something in it. Then I got 3 that got most of the money in it. But see, those are fixed. You know what I'm saying? Those are fixed. I got one that I got a couple of stocks in it. That's fixed. Ain't no new money coming in that. because contributing, that's part of what Chris teaches. The contribution from your income. I don't have an income like that. I'm on disability. So whatever money I got put up, that's the money I'm working with. So whatever profit I get, got to get put right back into that to build up. It's not no $500 a week going into that shit. It's not. I got another account for that, and it's only like literally like $4 or $5 going into that account every week. Like for real. It sounds like nothing. It sounds like nothing, but that account is grown quite a bit since I started it, and it wasn't that long. That was just a few months ago, and I was just like, I went and checked it. Actually, last night I went and checked it, and it was like, huh. I wouldn't expect for it to jump like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I wouldn't expect for it to jump like that, just with them little contributions. But you set them little weekly contributions and just let that shit go and don't think about it. Next thing you know, you got a whole lot more than you thought. Anyway, I just, I saw that dude's video, and I said, let me shoot a little bit of something right now, and see what and put some stuff out here to somewhat kind of support Chris a little bit, and also put a little bit of advice on people that's out here trying to get into the stock market to make money, because you can, but it's all going to be on you. Chris can tell you, he can give you the foundation of it, but it's the execution. You're the quarterback. Like, he's the coach. That's why they call him coach. You're the quarterback. He can tell you what to do, but you got to execute. Once he put into play, you got to be able to execute. And if you go out there and you don't execute, then it's whatever. Like I say, he gives you the range of a price. If you trading in between, $65 and $55, he say you trade that range, and you right in the middle of that range at like $60, fiddling around there, and you ain't making no money. That's your fault. You either at the top or you at the bottom. You make your move at either one of those little peaks or valleys. And if you got money on the table inside of any of that, and you wonder when to take your cash, it's when they get close. I was in a play yesterday. I was just trading SPY because I got a little bit of extra money that I'm just flipping back and forth every day, day trading, in my Webull account. And you get up, it was like Chris was like, the play said that it was the resistance is gonna be 659 or some shit like that. I forget what the shit is right now. 659, or is it 49? No, is it 47, 48? Anywhere around, it was the 9 was the last number. So I think it's 48, 648 or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to look at my phone right there. I can't look at the price. And then the support was right at 40. Now, I'm just day trading. I'm not waiting for no whole goddamn move. I'm literally only going to be on my phone for a couple hours before I got to start getting ready to go do this, that, and the other. So the price, the price dips. You know what I'm saying? The price dips, and I learned a whole lot of other shit, when I was there I got all the indicators, the EMAs, and all this other stuff. That bitch dropped all the way down to the fucking 48 day, 1348. I can't even remember my goddamn indicators. Oh my goodness, it's not the 48. Whichever the big one is, the one that's all the way down here, the big purple line. And it dropped all the way down there and tapped that. So it was a big long wick, hit that bitch, bam, and it, you know how it goes. It came right the fuck back up. And I was like, well, you've seen those moves before. It was like a straight bloop, bloop on a 5-minute chart. Bop, 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 blah. And once it get down there, Okay, you look over there, you see some other action. That means right at that level, that's the resistance right there. You know this is going up. It might not go all the way back up to where it fell from, but it's going about halfway if it don't flat out. But I mean, if it don't bear flag out. Well, we had been in a bear flag type of market. So, you know what I'm saying? That bitch going right back up. And I caught that motherfucker, bam, on the way down. Goddamn flying here. And then I bought another contract when it got down further. And then I just rode that motherfucker all the way up past where it dropped from until it got to his resistance, which was like 649 or something like that. And I got out at 648. It got to 648. I was like, okay, I'd have made $120 in a couple of minutes. You know what I'm saying? Literally. That's a day's pay for a lot of people. You know, for that little money that I had left over, because most of my money in that account is in a loan call for way out. So, yeah. Common sense. And he says this. Common sense. You ain't got to wait for it to get all the way to 649. You know what I'm saying? If it get up there, it get close, take your money. You know, that's what I did. I took my money. We got up to 648 or whatever the fuck. I was like, okay, this is good enough. Let me boop, boop, boop. Took my little money, you know, put my phone to the side, started doing whatever else I was gonna do for the day. I don't gotta worry about this shit no more. Till Monday. Till Monday. And next time I picked up my phone, not too long later, shit was at like 647. You know, see, the price had dropped. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, see? And they do that all the time. You have to use your common sense when dealing with that. And he says himself, you know, you ain't got to wait. You know what I'm saying? They get close. That close is good enough. I heard somebody say one time that it was like, what's your secret? You know what I'm saying? What's your secret? It's one of those big name stock investors or whatever the fuck. You know, what's your secret to making money in the stock market? And he was like, I always get out a little early. It's funny because when I heard that, I don't even think I was in the stocks at that time. I don't think I was. I don't think I was in the stocks or anything at that time. But that's something that stuck in my head. I always get out a little early. Because a lot of times you stay in there. You say, don't overstay your welcome. You sitting up here. If y'all been in the market, y'all know. Take the stairs up and the escalator down or the elevator down. Whoop! They got that shit. That shit. Them red candles is the goddamn fast lane, boy. Yeah. And you can't even switch and do your. You have to have a stop loss on, and I don't have a stop loss on my shit because I'm managing my shit. When I'm in my plays, I know I'm only gonna be trading for a certain amount of time, so I'm on it. I'm not sitting around just like some of them are. I am, but most of the time, you know, I'm on it. I'm looking at the shit. I'm looking at that 5-minute chart, and I'm watching that shit like a hawk. 5 minutes lasts a long as goddamn time when you doing it like that. Because those red candles come fast. And you will be in the green. You will be in the green. You'll be up in the green. And then that shit will drop it down in the red so fast. And it's kind of funny how that shit works. That however much you was in the green, it'll drop that same amount in the red. But the money won't be the same. It won't be the inverse. You could be up. You know, you could be up that little bit. And it's like, you be up like $30 if you're doing like the little shits like I be doing. And then it'll drop down into the red and be in the red that same amount but it's like $100. I'm just like, hey, come on now. The fuck is this shit? Anyway, that's my advice with that shit. Use your common goddamn sense when you getting these plays from whoever you getting them from. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll get on here and tell you this ain't financial advice. This is for educational purposes only, which makes no fucking sense because giving people advice is education. Just, but they have to say that. They have to say that because people go do stupid ass shit. And I've lost plenty of money. And I've made plenty of money. And like I said, I've been following Chris since 2020. And like I say, I'm not somebody with 6 figures in the bank. I can't trade. I can't buy 100 contracts like him and make $10, $15, $20,000 in 30 minutes. And I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll make a couple $100. I'm going to be fine with that. I can make more than that. I can work my account to where I can make a couple of $1,000s a day. Do I want to expose myself to the market like that? No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like that little money I got sitting to the side now that I'm day trading with, that I done damn near doubled in the last week, making these little scalp trades and shit like that. Yeah. I've done that before. With the same, you know, where I was like, man, I can just take a largest amount of money and make these same little moves and, you know, scale it up, you know, yeah. Instead of making, you know, instead of doing the little $1,000 option plays, trying to make $100, you know what I'm saying, just a couple of percent, because I don't sit around trying to wait for no 20-30%. I get 5-10%, I'm good. Duh, bye. Yeah. Make that same, try to move that shit up where I'm doing that with 10 grand. And for whatever reason, shit don't work the same way when I win. I'm like, I'm doing the same goddamn thing. And I'm just like, shit. I work with the small amount of money. I can flip that shit up like enough. But once I get to a certain amount, I just use 10,000 instead of 1,000. And that's going to, you know what I'm saying? I can make a couple of trades in a week and I can skip days. I don't have to worry about this shit. Yeah. Long calls, baby. That's why I stay away. That's why I started staying away from the day trades. I do the 0-day trades. I stayed away from the 0-day trades for a long ass time. I got a small amount of money. I do 0-day trades. I've got any amount of money put in that shit. Nigga, I don't give a damn how much money I'm trying to make. I will put that shit out for a year, 2 years if I goddamn can. I am scary as hell when it comes to that. But you know, at a certain point, I wasn't even aware that I can do that. How did I learn about that shit? Watching Chris. You know, a lot of other people taught me about investing and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there wondering, okay, you a millionaire, you doing this shit, and you buying this company and buying this company, and you talking about valuations and all this other shit. And I'm sitting there, and like I say, this was before I knew anything about options. If I'd have known about options back in 2020's time, when COVID first hit and the market crashed, because that's when I got in. If I'd have known about options back then, I would legit be a millionaire right now. That's not even an exaggeration. I'd be a millionaire right now. And I would have been a millionaire before the end of that year. By 2021, I would have been a cool, clean millionaire. Didn't know. Because all I was doing just putting my money in stocks. And even that shit doubled. Even that shit doubled. But I didn't know nothing about options back then. All the people I was looking at and I was following was just talking about just stocks and putting your money in stocks and blah, blah, blah. I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't get into options until I started watching Chris maybe a few years later. You can get options because options is intimidating when you first get into it. That shit is weird. And I'm talking about simple options like the kind that Chris shows you. He shows you like regular people options. Now, if you start watching those morning shows, where they start talking about options, or you go to certain people's option page, they start talking about options. You won't know what the fuck they talking about. They don't. Chris probably know, but he don't go over that shit on his page. You know, this call, this put. That's it. He ain't going to all that other crap that you gotta legit take a class to even know. Where you talking about all these different spreads and condors and winged falcons and all kind of shit, you know, credit spreads and all kind of stuff where people is making money, and people is legit making money with options. Because you know, that shit is confusing to me, and I have to get into this where people go buying and selling covered calls and puts and stuff like that, to where well, first of all, you got to have money to do this. You know, that's the part where, okay, when you get that far into the game, you got to have money to do it, to where you can sell puts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where you making money selling puts. You making money selling puts. And then you can fuck around and get assigned, which means that if you get forced to buy those puts, but you get forced to buy the stock, 100 shares or whatever the fuck, however many contracts you got, you get forced to buy that, but you would have the money to buy them because you already know that's liable to happen. And if it happens, you want it to happen. That means the price done fell to a price you would want to buy it at anyway. So now you done got the price, you done got the stock at a rock bottom ass price, and you done made money off the shit. Just me trying to explain that just made my head hurt. And that's the inverse with calls. But see, and that's something. Because this is one guy I do watch, and that's what he does. And he has a several $1 million account that he posts online. So if he got a several $1 million account that he posts online, ain't no telling what his private money look like. If that's his public money, ain't no telling what his private money look like. He's just some little young white guy, but that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. Blah, 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 blah. 5-6 figures at a time, each move. And it's all secured. That means every move that he make is making money. No matter what the price of the stock is going. You know what I'm saying? Now, Chris don't go over that. Now, I'm pretty sure Chris knows about that. But he don't go over that because that's over the head of most of the people that's following him. It's people like me. I understand a regular call, you know what I'm saying? If I think the price is going down, I buy a put, you know, and if I think it's going up, I buy a fucking call. I make my little money, I'll take my little money, go on by my business. I ain't got no weird ass, you know, stock shit going on and stuff like that, where you get far into the deltas and all, not the deltas, but the Greeks. They only discuss 2 Greeks on there, Theta and Delta. And it's a whole bunch of other Greeks that don't nobody ever talk about. No, everybody talk about. But that little bit that he give you is all that you fucking need until, and, you know, you get your feet wet, and then you know that little bit, and it's easier for you to move on and get the rest that you need. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's my advice. But my advice is to follow somebody like Chris Sain and get the little information that you need, at least the stuff that he got for you for free, that you ain't got to pay for, that he ain't trying to send you to one of his schools for, even though he do have coaching and shit like that. And he got, you know, now I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably talk about that shit. How you gonna get your money? The dude is running the goddamn business. And that's the same for almost everybody else on YouTube, whether they doing stock shit or not. If you watching somebody play fucking Pac-Man, you know what I'm saying? More than likely, he's on there playing Pac-Man so he can make some money. He ain't on there watching Pac-Man for nothing. I sit here and watch YouTube videos all goddamn day long. And at the end of the video, I see those Patreon donors. And some people have Patreon donors and they have the names, you put the people's patrons up there. And sometimes they have it roll up the screen like crazy. Them names just keep going. Just think, it's $1, $2, $5, $10 for every one of those names you see. And there's hundreds of fucking names every goddamn month. Money coming in. There's some people that put all the names on the screen, like Josh Strife Hayes. I don't know how much money that man making. I don't give a damn if it was just $1. That man put everybody's name. He said he just gonna keep putting everybody's name on the screen at the same time. He don't give a damn how small the letters is. Man, it's the text for those names is so goddamn tiny on the screen because there's so many of them. And you think every last one of them people is paying him. You don't know exactly how much, but it's at least $1. If I had $1 for each one of them names, I'd be pretty goddamn happy right now. And you gotta think, he got tears. So everybody's on here to make money. Everybody's running the business to some degree, and if they ain't running the business, they trying to. I'm not, because I don't put in that kind of effort to that. Because if I want to make money, that means I gotta go buy another computer. I gotta go buy a whole bunch of shit if I'm going to try to make some money off of YouTube, unless I find a way to do this shit like this on my goddamn phone, and which I seriously goddamn doubt. But I ain't begrudging folks to try to make some money off of that, but I am already invested with Chris because, like I say, $5 a month, I'm in this goddamn Patreon and Discord. So that's why I'm rolling with. He give you the information you fucking need. Ain't no scams unless you don't fuck around and got hooked up with one of those impersonators, which I've talked to a couple of those impersonators. I talked to one on Twitter. Not Twitter, but Instagram. Just to fucking see what he was gonna say. I'm like, because, I already followed Chris. You know what I'm saying? And I know what his real page it looked like. And now I get this other motherfucker that got his picture. You know how they do it. And he talking to me, and I'm just like, I'm just going back and forth with him. He trying to sell me on some crypto shit. And I'm just like, and Chris wasn't pushing that crypto at the time. He is now because the price is moving, but not the way that they pushing this shit. And I'm just like, this don't, I know this not Chris. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see how far they gonna take it. I'm trying to see how far they gonna take it until I be like, I was just like, yeah, I know this is a fake account, bruh. So just stop. And then I stopped hearing from them. Then, I stopped because they was like messaging, let me like right the fuck back. And it wasn't no generic ass shit like you talking to a bot or some shit. Somebody was on the other side actually going back and forth with me. I was like, yeah, okay, I done had enough of this. I know you're not Chris. I know this is a fake account. So yeah, just quit. And I ain't hear from him no more. I blocked the shit, went on about my business. And another reason I trust Chris is because he misspeaks. It sounds funny when I say that, but Chris misspeaks a lot. You know what I'm saying? Which means that a lot of the stuff I hear him say is not, when somebody's talking to you, giving you some information, you're trying to fill them out, and everything that come out their word is all manicured and all this other shit, ain't no stuttering, and it's just bloop, 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 bloop. Like, motherfucker, how long did you practice this shit that's coming out of your mouth? Chris will say some shit that don't make sense all the goddamn time. It does. I'm one of those people that catch that. Misspeak is funny to me. But when he misspeaks, it's just like he misspeaks enough to where I'm just like, okay, I know it ain't no bullshit coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no bullshit coming out of his mouth. That may not make no goddamn sense, but that's kind of my justification for it. He talks like us folks. You know what I'm saying? He talks like common folks. I know he's an educated man and shit like that. So am I. Well, I'm learning. I'm not educated. But yeah, you know, he talks like us. Sometimes some of the stuff that come out of his mouth don't actually make sense. And I'm like, okay, he didn't mean to say that. He meant to say something else. I know what he meant. You know what I'm saying? I know what he meant. But okay, whatever. That's why he one of us. That's all I can say. He one of us. And that's why I still watch. And anybody that's watching, I will encourage you to keep watching and also watch other people. You know what I'm saying? That will keep you verified. You're just like, okay, Chris does this, that, and the other. Go watch some other people and see watch other people that do something similar. Because if you watch them on a daily basis, they should be giving you about the same information. Now, everybody's opinion on shit is a little bit different. But when it comes to charts and prices and shit like that, now where the price may go and all this other stuff, that's a little bit different. As far as the chart work and all this other stuff, the levels and all that shit should be about the goddamn same. It should. It should be the goddamn same. Find you some folks out there that focus on investment. Find you some folks that focuses on news, so you will know exactly. Because sometimes with Chris, he'll tell you that we got PPI and all those little financial news things coming out, blah blah blah. The only thing that frustrates me, you don't get time and date a lot. He'll tell you that the shit is coming out, but you might not get the time and date. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he does it on purpose, but sometimes he won't give you the time and date for shit. But it's people I do follow that will give you time and date. I think he got folks in his Discord that will give you time and date, but you got to be in the Discord following all that shit in there. But you know, follow people that does that. The news part, so you know when to you know, when you need to trade and don't trade, because you know generally it's not a good time to be trading when financial news is coming out. And they'll give you time and date, so you know if the shit is coming out in the morning or in the afternoon and stuff like that. Like I said, sometimes with Chris, you don't get the exacts with that. You just get the, you know, it's coming out tomorrow or blah blah blah. You want to always get the exact time and date. Investment. Find some other people that do chart work and stuff like that, because a lot of other people will teach you a lot more about using your indicators and stuff like that than you would get on Chris's page. That's what you get from them. They teach that. You know, you find folks that actually teach that. They got pages on YouTube that actually teach chart work. So you get your chart work and you get your indicators, and they teach you how to use the little sub chart works with your RSI and all that other shit, MACD and all that shit that you want to have on there to help you try to gauge what's going on your chart. You know, you find somebody to do that, blah, blah, blah. Say 4 or 5 people. You know what I'm saying? Have 4 or 5 people have your fucking shit up there. You got the whole little university that they trying to pay you, that people want you to pay you for. You got it for free right there. You follow those people, set your notifications, and when you pop, and both of them, and all those people will have a backlog on their page of old videos where they probably going over stuff specifically. You go back in and watch your shit when you ain't got shit to do, you learn. Because no matter how much of this information you put, you ain't gonna be able to do this shit right up front. I don't give a damn how many of these videos you watch and try to soak this shit in. Even during watching all these videos, the shit still takes time. Like you say, time in the seat. You need to be doing this shit for a while. And you gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose. That's why you start off with a little shit. You're going to lose. And it take time in the seat for you to be company. This is like me. My alarm go off at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm in Central Standard Time. The market opened at 8:30. I wake up, 8:30, boop, swipe my alarm off. I start scrolling through my goddamn phone, half asleep. I know at somewhere in between 8:15 and 8:25, the announcement's gonna come out on Discord from Chris, giving what he sees in the market at that point during the day, and he gonna give you what he sees with SPY and Tesla. So at some point during that morning, I'm looking through there. I open up my little page, my little Webull account. I'm still laying down now. Open up my Webull account, log into that, scroll on there, look at the SPY, see what it's doing. I do that before I look at Chris shit. Do my little half-ass chart work, because I just need to see the peaks and the valleys, all the line drawing and shit. I can't do that shit on my. I probably can do it on my phone, but I'm not finna do that on my phone. I just look and bop, 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 bop. I can see the shit. I don't need to draw a goddamn line. And you know, you scroll on there, they put the numbers on this shit for you anyway. So, you know, so I'm like, okay, wait for Chris shit to come out. I'll look at that. Bop, bop, bop. That's close to what I had. So I feel good already. Now I just need to see what the market does when it opens. You know what I'm saying? After I've seen the announcement for Chris for that day, I just need to see, okay, what's going to happen once the market opens. Is it going to jump up, or is it going to jump, squat down? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to look at the market, tell which direction the market is generally heading in. Is it heading up or heading down? You sit, you wait a couple of minutes. You get one of them big ass, long ass, red ass candles. You wait till they get to the bottom of that and you buy it. You know what I'm saying? So by the time 8:30 come, you know what I'm saying? I'm still there. My alarm go off, because my alarm go off. I got an alarm for the market open. I'm still in bed now. I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there looking. I'm trying to see whether the market gonna jump, whether it's gonna squat. Sometimes you have to wait. You gotta let it do one or the other. If you gotta and see where those prices at and relative to the past movement from the high from pre-market. If it done dropped a little bit, because it usually get up to that high, then drop a little bit, and if the high is from the previous day, you know, it'll usually kind of climb up to that high. You look at the last peak, it'll come up to that peak, and usually go bloop. You know what I'm saying? It won't, probably don't drop all the way, but you know, it might flag out. And if it flag out, that's kind of a good thing. It's kind of good if it pops up enough and it starts to flag out. You're just like, okay, now I'm gonna have to wait for this, and wait for another move upwards until you mark your next resistance, which will be whatever the last peak was, and you just. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Or it's like if it pops straight up. If it drops down, where's the bottom peak or the valley? Where did it? It'll drop somewhere down there, sometime below, or somewhere around there, and then you buy it. Boom. Sometime you want to buy it. Not no 0 day shit. You might want to put that shit out about a week, depending on what it is, and give that shit time to creep up a little bit, because it's gonna come back up. You know what I'm saying? If the market is in an uptrend overall, it's gonna come back up. Usually if it drops and flags, then you lay the fuck off of it. If it drop like that and then start going sideways, yeah, you leave that shit alone. If it drops, usually it'll come back up, depending on how long that candle or how long the drop was. You count for it to at least go about halfway, at least. That's when you start looking to get out. Sometime it'll go all the way back up. If it go back up halfway and start to creep up a little bit, you set your little stop loss right underneath that. If you already in the green, if it drops, you hit your stop loss, you got a little bit of green, you up out of there. If not, it keep the fuck on going. You make your money. And that's like some little shit. That's before, like, I woke up at 8 o'clock. Market opened at 8:30. This is like some 9:30, 10 o'clock type of shit. I'm still laying here, ain't took a piss yet. It could be like that on my phone. Breath still stinking, teeth all sticky and shit. And you done made a couple of $100. You know what I'm saying? Already that day. You learn it, and it's all from watching people like Chris. It don't have to be Chris in particular. He would tell you that. Let it be somebody. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's plenty of people out there that do what Chris does to some degree. You know what I'm saying? The content might vary a little bit, but you know, it's other folks out there. You know, you got to learn from somewhere. Follow somebody. My thing is just follow a few of them for at least a while before you start trimming shit off. Like Larry Jones and Keenan Grace and all those, I trim them shits off. They do something a little bit different than what I do. You know what I'm saying? They trading philosophy is a little bit different from mine, so I don't watch them as much. I still follow them, but since I don't watch their video, I think that's why I don't watch them. It ain't like I just stopped watching them altogether, but watching all those videos every day can get a little bit tiring. You know what I'm saying? So, because they used to all post around the same time. As soon as I, at a certain point in the day, bam, Keenan coming out. And then boom, fucking Larry is coming. And then you got the stock mode buy. You got those, you watch those videos. Well, you know they gonna be on your feed. So you can pop, just watch all of them motherfuckers. Or they might be guests on each other's show. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you never fucking know. But I think the way YouTube works, you stop watching a video for a couple of days or a week or so, and then next thing you know, they just not popping up anymore. And I think that's what happened. It ain't like I don't like them guys anymore, so I'm not watching their videos anymore. It's just that, I go by my suggestions on YouTube. And they stopped showing up, so, out of sight, out of mind kind of shit. So, that's all. I'll be here talking all day about this shit. Just to reiterate, Chris is not a scam. Chris is legit. Everything that he does is worth your time watching. Just put it like that. That's without going into the Discord or Patreon or any of that shit. The stuff that you can see on YouTube for free for a like and a subscribe is well worth it. You can make your money off of that. You know what I'm saying? And if you making videos online and you inspired by Chris and people is in your fucking comments saying this, that, and the other, don't pay that shit no mind. That's people like me. I'm 50 years old and I do stupid shit like that because I have to let my negative energy off somewhere. So usually it's in somebody's comments on YouTube or Instagram saying some weird ass shit. I can't hold that energy in. I gotta let it out, and that's what I do. I try not to say super mean shit, but I will say some weird shit. But don't pay that no mind. You make your videos, and if you want to make some money on YouTube, get you some followers and try to get your page monetized and whatnot, so you can make some money and shit like that. Go the fuck ahead and do it, because everybody else on here is trying to do it. Most people on YouTube ain't like me just doing this. YouTube to me is a fucking diary. So yeah, and I know my language is way too. I don't know how much cussing I did in this video here. But yeah, the way I usually talk is just not that's just never gonna go over. I'm never gonna have ad-friendly videos ever. So I am not counting on that at all. I do have a Patreon though, but I hadn't hooked that shit up on my YouTube quite yet because I hadn't gotten into a place where I'm posting a lot of videos on the regular anymore. Yeah, so do what you got to do business wise if you making videos and shit like that. No matter what it is, whether it's about stocks or whatever the hell it is, go ahead and fucking do it and don't worry about what these people say. And that's it. Bye.